Good evening, I'm Tips Mahoy and this is ArthIntel Evening Edition. Coming up, live updates. Saudi Arabia says 14 countries backing maritime alliance to protect shipping routes. Hamas says it has agreed to disarm after Trump announces Board of Peace plan. The U.S. battle with China over humanoid robots. How close are they to becoming reality? That, plus a check of the weather across the country. Saudi Arabia's defense ministry says 14 countries have thrown their support behind a new maritime defense alliance, aimed at protecting international shipping routes and global trade. The announcement comes as the widening U.S.-Iran conflict pulls in more nations across the region. In Egypt, authorities say a drone strike Wednesday sparked a fire on 2 ships at the port of Damietta, though no party has claimed responsibility. If confirmed as a deliberate attack, it would mark the first time Egypt has been directly drawn into the conflict. President Trump says his Board of Peace has secured an agreement for the complete disarmament of Hamas and other armed groups in Gaza. A senior Hamas official has told the BBC the group has agreed to the plan, with a formal statement expected soon. But Israel has yet to confirm the deal, and an Israeli official says the proposed terms do not meet Jerusalem's demands. Trump says Israeli forces will withdraw as disarmament is completed, calling it a critical step toward a new Palestinian government, and thanked mediators Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey. The United States this week banned foreign-made humanoid and quadruped robots from entering the country, with the FCC saying a federal interagency national security group determined the devices pose unacceptable risks to U.S. national security and safety. China's Ministry of Commerce responded Thursday, saying the ban would severely undermine China-U.S. trade relations and disrupt global supply chains, according to a translation from the New York Times. China currently accounts for about 90% of the world's humanoid robot exports, according to the BBC, with companies like Unitree Robotics and Augibot leading production. U.S. firms including Tesla, Figure AI, and Boston Dynamics are racing to compete, though experts say mainstream availability of these robots likely won't arrive until around 2030. ArthIntel Headline News is brought to you in part by Toolbox Development, AI web development and marketing. Learn more at toolboxdevelopment.net. We'll be right back. President Trump is threatening to temporarily withdraw Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General, saying on Truth Social he'd resubmit it after Republican senators John Cornyn and Tom Tillis leave office in January. The 2 senators have held up a Judiciary Committee vote over concerns tied to Trump's settlement with the IRS over his leaked tax returns, including a $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund. Tillis called the president's proposal about as politically tone-deaf a posture as he's seen from the administration, while Cornyn said on X that concerns about the settlement extend beyond just the 2 of them. Both senators met with Blanche Thursday in what a source described as a positive, collaborative session to try to resolve the dispute. Emily Morneau, the ex-wife of Ohio Republican Congressman Max Miller, has filed a restraining order against him. In the filing, Morneau alleges Miller harassed and threatened her legal counsel and physically touched her counsel without consent. Morneau has also alleged Miller previously abused her, including by holding a gun to her head and pouring hot water on her. This comes after a judge this week dismissed a separate domestic violence case Miller had filed against Morneau. Miller denies any wrongdoing. The Trump administration this week began stripping temporary protected status from Haitian immigrants, after the Supreme Court cleared the way last month. Among those affected, Farah Laria, a 47-year-old Miramar, Florida business owner who built a life in the U.S. over 16 years and told MS Now the move turned her American dream into a nightmare. According to an MS Now analysis of immigration advocacy data and DHS figures, roughly 1.8 million immigrants have lost lawful status since the start of Trump's second term, including TPS holders and people with parole status. The State Department currently classifies Haiti as a Level 4, do not travel country, and DHS says it plans to increase arrests of former TPS holders. The Trump administration says it will end federal subsidies that have kept Medicare Part D prescription drug premiums stable, effective 2027. CMS Administrator Dr. Mehmet Oz says the subsidy, started under President Biden, amounted to a bailout for insurance companies costing an estimated $3.6 billion in 2026, and argues it's no longer needed since the market has stabilized. According to CMS, the national base premium for Part D will be $41.33 in 2027, with Oz saying most seniors will see increases of less than $10. But Juliette Kubanski of KFF, a health policy research group, told the Washington Post that without the subsidy, some beneficiaries enrolled in Part D plans could face relatively steep premium increases next year. ArthIntel Headline News is brought to you in part by Toolbox Development, AI web development and marketing. Learn more at toolboxdevelopment.net. We'll be right back. The U.S. economy grew at a 1.5% annual rate in the second quarter, the Commerce Department reported Thursday, missing economists' forecast of 1.8% and slowing from 2.1% growth in the first quarter. A separate report showed the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, the PCE price index, up 3.7% annually in June, with core inflation, which excludes food and energy, at 3.3%. Stock futures rose and Treasury yields climbed sharply following the data. The reports come a day after the Federal Reserve voted 9-3 to hold interest rates steady between 3.5% and 3.75%, with 3 dissenting regional presidents citing concerns over persistent inflation. The U.S. economy grew more slowly than expected in the second quarter, according to the Commerce Department, with annual growth of 1.5%, down from 2.1% in the first 3 months of the year. Analysts had forecast growth around 2%. The slowdown came despite a jump in consumer spending, which rose 3.2% and made up more than 2/3 of economic activity, as lower government spending, investment, and exports weighed on the overall figure. It comes as the economy contends with the financial fallout from the war with Iran and businesses navigate tariffs, while the Federal Reserve held interest rates steady for a 5th consecutive time, with new Chairman Kevin Warsh warning there's no magic wand for rising prices. ArthIntel Headline News is brought to you in part by Toolbox Development, AI web development and marketing. Learn more at toolboxdevelopment.net. We'll be right back. NFL training camps are officially underway for all 32 teams, with ESPN's NFL Nation reporters on site every day tracking the action. Coverage includes standout performers, position battles, depth chart movement, and roster bubble players fighting for a spot on the final 53. Camps are being held at team facilities and select college campuses across the country, from Rochester, New York, to Santa Clara, California. The first full week of preseason games kicks off August 13th. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott is setting the bar high heading into 2026, coining the phrase, GOTI, greatest offense there is for his team's offense. Prescott says he won't shy away from big goals, pointing to last season's numbers, a 4,000-yard passing performance, 2 1,000-yard receivers in C.D. Lamb and George Pickens, and a 1,000-yard rusher in Javonte Williams. The Cowboys ranked 2nd in yards per game and 7th in points last season, but have missed the playoffs each of the past 2 years. Prescott, who turned 33 this week, also praised owner Jerry Jones' aggressive offseason moves, saying the front office's urgency pushes him to give the team everything. ArthIntel Headline News is brought to you in part by Toolbox Development, AI web development and marketing. Learn more at toolboxdevelopment.net. We'll be right back. And finally, here's a look at temperatures across the country right now. It's hottest in Phoenix at 110 degrees, while Boston is the coolest spot on the board this evening at 65. That's ArthIntel Evening Edition for now, 11 stories, coast to coast. I'm Tips Mahoy for ArthIntel, signal over noise. Turn on notifications to catch every release, like and subscribe, and drop by arthintel.com for the rest of the story.